Welcome to Modern Day Abigails. 2 Corinthians 5:17 says, "Therefore, if anyone is in Christ, he is a new creation. Old things have passed away. Behold, all things have become new." So let's listen to God's Word, where everyday lives transform and where we can become the women God created us to be. So in 2 Samuel 3, verse 15, it says, "And Ishbosheth sinned and took her from her husband, Palti, the son of Laish," or Patil? Maybe it's Patil there. I don't know. Son of Laish. Then her husband went along with her to Baharim, weeping behind her. So Abner said to him, "Go return." And he returned. That's where I'm saying is Saul picked a weakling for her second husband. Because here he was crying. Okay, and I'm not saying it was because he was crying. I mean, I would like to think that if I was taken from Ray, he would cry for me. But it's because when Abner looked at him and goes, "Go return.
Stop your blubbering and go home."
Go home. He did.
He did.
He didn't go to David and said, "David, I get it. This is not fair, but she's my wife now. I love her. I want to keep my wife. Please let me keep my wife." He didn't go to David.
I bet David would have said yes.
David might have said yes. He might have said, "You know what? Okay, go ahead.
I don't want to uproot y'all."
Yeah, he might have, but he didn't even try.
No.
He didn't stay. He didn't say, "You know what? I don't like this and we're going to fight about it. I'm going to go talk to David. I am going to go to David and say, David, this is my wife now. You had your chance. You haven't seen her in 7 to 10 years. Mm-hmm. You could have been dead for all we know. She's my wife."
7 to 10 years before she was given. How long were they married before he wanted her back?
Exactly.
We might be up to 15 years
we
by
have
now.
No idea. All we know is it's been a long time. And he could have said, well, she didn't get pregnant by this guy either.
Yeah.
I want to point that out. She wasn't pregnant by him either. So I don't know how.
Maybe she couldn't get pregnant.
Well, that's what we're going to talk about that too, because she gets punished for her bad attitude. So that's what I'm saying is, so what Saul did is this time he didn't make the second mistake. He found her the weakest husband she could. So my point is maybe she wanted to stay with him because she had control over him. You know, she might have been like, "Hey, I got control over this guy and you're going to take me away from it? I can do whatever I want. He doesn't tell me what to do. I tell him what to do."
Mm-hmm.
So I do feel bad for the poor girl. She was in a situation she didn't want to be. She just kept making bad decisions. Or not the bad decision. She makes bad responses to what's going on.
She, in my opinion, she is in this particular situation because of the lies that she told about David, his reputation, and everything else that goes with that.
She responded incorrectly the first time.
Yes, and here we are.
Yeah, here we are now. Now
things are still a mess.
Exactly, and we're about to respond badly again. We haven't learned our lesson that our response makes a difference, and that's what I'm trying to tell you, lady.
And then she keeps going and going and go, which we find out later.
Yeah, and that's why I'm trying to say, ladies, is our response makes the difference. We have the ability to respond correctly. We have the right to respond quietly. We have the right to respond by not saying anything. Our response can make the difference. If your husband comes home and he is angry and mad, your response makes the difference. You don't have to fight him. You can look at him like our friend said that one time. He came home drunk and upset or whatever, and she looked at him, she's like, "Can I cook you some eggs? Would that help you?" He said that floored him, and it made all the difference.
That was the pivotal moment.
Yeah, that was a pivotal moment. Her response made all the difference. Mm-hmm. So we can't think about ourselves. We can't think about how I'm feeling and what I'm going through. Yeah, it may not be fair. It may not be right. It may be in a bad situation, but we can respond correctly. We can respond correctly in any situation.
Agreed.
Now, if you're being attacked, responding correctly might be a knee to the groin.
Agreed.
I'm not saying it's all, sweet, lollipops and clouds. I'm just saying if somebody attacks you, your correct response might be a knee to the groin. Not a big deal. Maybe an elbow to the jaw, Yeah,
sure.
So she made a poor decision. She responded poorly. She'd been given to this other guy, and now she's supposed to be going back to her first husband. I feel bad for her. She is a ping pong. So I'm not saying I don't feel bad for her.
It's an absolute mess for sure.
And I'm saying this out loud.
Don't envy her.
It's messed up. Yeah, don't envy. Don't be Michael. It's messed up. Like I said, apparently this guy really loved her.
Yeah.
But he was spineless. David wouldn't got his wife back. He didn't give up. He's like, nope, this is my wife. I want her back. So that's why I was saying earlier is like, why didn't husband go for her and plead for her? Saul picked this lesser man. So, well, anyway, like I said, we're just making mistakes all over the place.
Can you imagine Michael? She's watching him cry.
Yeah.
And watched her dad say, just go home.
Not her dad, Abner.
Abner. And then she watched
him leave.
She
watched her first husband leave out the window. Never came back until now.
Abandonment issues.
Yeah, I'm sure she does have abandonment issues.
And that's why she ends up, we see later, super bitter about the situation.
Oh, exactly. And that's where we're going. She gets bitter. That's her response. Bitterness. Yeah. Instead of saying, wow, this sucks. Okay, what am I going to do? Why didn't she go to David and say...
I was going to say, why didn't she talk to David?
David, honey, look.
It's been 15 years.
Or whatever year, X years. You could have been dead for all I knew. My dad gave me to another man. I am married him. I love him.
Please reconsider.
Yeah. Could you let me go back? Could you not accept me and just let me go back to my husband?
You've got 2 wives. Let me go back.
I'm sure that went well too. Oh, you've been gone all these years and you went and got 2 wives?
And you won't let me stay with my husband?
Yeah, you won't let me stay with him? Yeah.
Oh. Now, was David having a power trip?
I don't know. And now some say that it could be his way of showing that he was the rightful heir to the throne or something like that. I don't understand kingdom stuff. That type of kingdom stuff, I don't. I just know that Jesus is king and he's going to set the kingdom correct. And we don't have to worry about that. But okay, so I'm going to make an assumption here because I could be wrong, but my womanly instincts tells me that Michael owned that husband. I just think she did. And he did whatever he told her. She was in control. She had already been hurt. So she had a sense of control.
By God, she ain't going to get hurt again.
She was not going to get hurt again. Exactly.
And yet she still did.
Yep, she did. I'm just so sad. Poor thing.
Listen, there are consequences for our actions. This is a consequence for her ruining a man, the future king,
his reputation, using idols to help her deceive her dad. So, I mean,
these are consequences. We have consequences.
Exactly. And
part of me feels bad. Part of me doesn't. Exactly. I'm shrugging my shoulders like, well.
And I was trying to think about what it was so much about Michael that husband was willing to cry over her. I mean, it was a bad situation, but I mean, her dad was beautiful.
Maybe they truly loved each other.
Her dad was very handsome, so it could be that she was just very, very pretty. David had a thing for pretty women, so maybe she was just beautiful, and that's why he didn't want to lose her. Maybe he was a little old guy who had this young, beautiful wife and didn't want to lose that. I don't know. They really might have been in love, but if they had been truly in love, why didn't he fight for her?
Why didn't he fight for her?
Why didn't she go to David and say, David, look, I really love this man.
They didn't fight for each other.
No, they did not. That's why I think in my womanly instinct, she was in control of him.
Yeah.
And now when the guy told her, just go back home, and he did, she's like, fine, whatever. She's a hurting woman. And most women have control issues when they're hurting.
Agreed.
And we have to relinquish that control. And I'm like I said, I've been traumatized, bullied, and all that fun stuff. But we have to relinquish our control to the Lord and let him take control. What if Michael had to let the Lord take control from the very beginning?
Right.
She still might be his only wife. We may not have a story of Bathsheba.
Might not have been 7 to 9, 10 years, whatever it is.
Might have not been. Might have not had an Abigail. Abigail situation would have been handled differently.
Jonathan could have at any time. He always knew where David was.
Yeah, he could have helped.
He could have taken his sister.
Yeah, he could have. But
she didn't.
Apparently, she didn't, or David didn't. We don't know what happened there.
Maybe she didn't want to go live in the field with the sheep.
My guess is that she didn't want to go in hiding. That's my womanly instinct.
In the field. Yeah. Caves.
She didn't want to go hide.
Not the palace.
Yeah. Because David had all his men, but later on he has women with him. So his wives. So it could have been made away. No.
Absolutely.
And did he try to get her earlier and she said, forget you? I don't know.
And maybe him coming back and saying, no, you are coming is his dominant way to say, nope, this is happening.
Exactly. We don't know those sides.
We don't know. These are just speculations.
Yeah, those are the in-between things. But what we learn from there is we always have a different response we can make. We can always respond We can respond, even if we respond incorrectly one time, we can still fix it and respond differently the next time. We have to learn from our mistakes so that we can learn how to
second chance
and learn how to correctly, do things.
Yeah, if you messed it up the first time, not to worry.
Yeah, and I get it. When you getting out of survival mode can be scary and difficult, but the Lord will give you a way, and He will help you.
Yeah,
He will put people in your life to help you.
Absolutely,
but you have to want to help. You have to want to get out of your survival mode. You have to want to get out of your fear. But some people
can't even tell you how many women, and as well, you've experienced this as well, who when you really get to talking to them and giving them the way out, the tools, they don't take it. They don't take it. More women don't take it than women who do.
Yeah, because they're scared. And I get that. But the Lord said He would always be with us. He would never leave us, forsake us. You don't have to do it alone. It's comfortable. Yeah. We're comfortable where we are.
We're comfortable in our chaos because it's all we've known.
I'm going to go on a ledge and say that's Michael. She got so comfortable in her cute little home with her cute little clothes that she didn't want to be inconvenienced by running with her husband.
Yeah. Because here's the thing. The king didn't pick a pauper for his daughter. There's no way he picked.
The second guy?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, probably not. No, he picked a weakling who probably had money.
Yeah. So he didn't pick some peasant.
No, not this time.
He picked somebody. Yeah, but David was high up and worthy. He was a shepherd, but not to the Lord and not to the people.
No, exactly. No, monetary wise, he was poor. That's why he didn't want to be the son-in-law. But this guy probably could take very good care of her, and he was a wimp.
And not only that, guarantee you, Saul chose somebody who could outshine David.
I don't think he chose somebody who can outshine David. I think he chose a guy who would not be in competition to him.
Oh, that's true.
I don't think Saul made sure he had somebody who could not compete with him. He wasn't going to be another David.
Maybe he could take easily as well.
I think he picked somebody who was a wimp. Yeah. He was probably not a good-looking man because he wanted to make sure her loyalty stayed with him.
Yeah.
And he wasn't going to make that same mistake twice.
Factors.
Yeah. I don't think Saul was going to make that same mistake twice.
Yeah.
So that's why when Abner looked at him and goes, just go return. He did. Turned and walked off. That's hurtful. So now this is to the pivotal point of where we're getting at. Now, I don't know how long from that 1 Samuel, wherever we were in just a minute ago, to 2 Samuel chapter 6. So now Michael's back with him. She's in the home. I have no idea where Abigail and the other chick is. I don't know. But
right next door?
I don't know. We know where Michael's at.
Next door.
Michael's not with the people. Michael is looking up high, looking down on the people. So remember that.
Yeah.
2 Samuel chapter 6, verse 14. Then David danced before the Lord in all his might. I want to learn how to dance before the Lord with all my might.
Right.
I get, what do you call it? Afraid of people watching me? Yeah. So then David danced before the Lord with all his might, and David was wearing a linen ephod. So David and all the house of Israel brought up the ark of the Lord, was shouting with the sound of the trumpet. Now, as the ark of the Lord came into the city of David, Michal, Saul's daughter, notice is Saul's daughter,
not David's wife,
looked through the window and saw King David leaping and whirling before the Lord, and she despised him in her heart. All right. Like I said, I'm not making light of Michal's difficult life, but our decisions make the difference in all of our situations. Let's be realistic. We can make up all sorts of horrible situations that we have less than 1% probability of happening. So let's just stay with the facts. I used to terrify myself on all the worst case scenarios. So let's not do that. So David danced out of worship to the Lord. He danced in his obedience to the Lord. David was not concentrated on himself, but on the goodness of the Lord, the love of the Lord. David is called a man after God's own heart. He worshiped him from the heart. So I'm going to go back and tell you what the circumstances were. Because our circumstances can't decide how we worship. Did I not discuss this? Okay. I'll get to it in a minute. So when we worship, is it from the heart? Are we hoping that people look at us when we're worshiping? Or are we asking ourselves, why do we worship the Lord? Do we even understand why we're worshiping him or why we're not worshiping him? So one of the things I want to point out to the ladies is here David was dancing to the Lord. He was worshiping, but Michal was not. Michal chose not to worship the Lord. She was so bitter.
She was sulking up in her room.
She was sulking, bitter, angry,
scowling down at everybody.
Obviously, time passed. And she is still bitter. She is still upset. She didn't try to convince David, as far as we can tell, hey, can I go back to my other husband? I mean, please, that we know of. She's just there. She's sulking. She's mad and she's bitter. So David was, okay, and then people will say that David was showing off stuff, and that's why she was mad, and she should have been rightfully mad because, because he was being immodest. David was not immodest, and all the commentaries I read, every one of them agreed that he was probably just dressed like the other priests and the Levites. He was not inappropriately dressed. My guess is that he wanted the people to see, did not want the people. He didn't want the people. It doesn't say why he chose to dress like that. I don't remember reading that. Now, somebody might be saying, yeah, I did say it. If it did, hey, send me an email, because I didn't remember seeing why he dressed like that. But my guess is he didn't want the people to see him as a warrior. He didn't want people to see him as a king. He wanted him to see him as a worshiper of the Lord God Almighty. That God had done a great thing, and he wanted them to see him worship. And that's what they wanted him to, to really look at. And I will tell you, if you ever hung out at a Jewish gathering like we have on the Passovers, everybody's dancing. It's not one person dancing. David was not dancing by himself.
No, everybody was dancing.
No, they are the original line dance. Okay. It's the original 2,000 something thousands of years ago line dancing, thousands and thousands ago. So don't think line dancing is a recent. No, the Jewish people danced together. When we went to Israel back in 2016, we went to a congregation Mount Carmel, and during worship, everybody would get up and start dancing. I really wanted to join them, but I was afraid that they would look at me like, you don't even belong here. Why are you with us? So I didn't take a chance, even though I was kind of encouraged to go do it, but I didn't know where to jump in. So that's why when we started doing Passovers here, I just jumped in.
Yeah.
Because everybody was dancing. So David did nothing wrong at this worship. He did nothing wrong. So why did Michal's heart hate him? Why did she hate him so bad when he was worshiping the Lord? Was she angry that he brought her back? Was she angry because he worshiped the Lord? I mean, we have to think about sometimes ourselves. Why are we angry? Have you ever thought about it? Have you ever been angry and you stopped and you go, why am I angry? I don't even know why I'm angry. I'm just angry.
I'd be like, what is my problem today?
I've done that one time. What is my problem? Where's the chocolate? There is something wrong with me.
For reals.
So what? Here's the other one. So why wasn't Michal out there joining the festivities? Why? Why wasn't she out there in the first place? Why didn't she join them?
She's taking a stand against bitterness.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Let's do it.
For bitterness.
She's got a little sign, bitter. And it plays in it because bitterness is like, I think did somebody else say it? I think it's like a cancer. It eats at you.
Yeah.
Bitterness will eat at you until you get rid of it.
It's a toxic.
It's very toxic.
It's poison.
And you know what? It's very contagious. You're being around a bitter person, you're going to get bitter too.
Yeah.
They're going to complain. You're going to start complaining too. Ladies, I'm not saying you can't love people, but if you're around somebody who's complaining and bitter, stay away from them.
Love them from a distance.
Love them from a distance. Pray for them. Look, I love you and I bless you, but I can't be around the bitterness and I will help you, but I can't be around it because I don't want you to affect me. Yeah. And Ray was always very protective. Like if I'm ministering to any woman, he's very protective and makes sure that I don't get so involved that it creeps up on me and gets all over me. So he makes sure I stay back because I don't mind you helping, but I'm not going to let it wash over you and take you over. Because I'm headstrong. I'm determined to help somebody I know the answer and I'm going to help you get to that answer. Sometimes somebody has to pull me back and go, hey, look, they don't want the answer.
Yeah.
You have to
they don't really care about the answer.
Yeah. They don't care. They're just trying to hurt you. Unknowingly, they're trying to hurt you.
Yeah.
So anyway, verse 17, so they brought the ark of the Lord and set it in place in the midst of the tabernacle that David had erected for it. Then David offered burnt offerings and peace offerings before the Lord. And notice that, burnt offerings and peace offerings, pay attention. If like I said, if you're not in your car and you have your Bible, highlight those. If you're in your car, please don't. And then David had finished offering burnt offerings and peace offerings. He blessed the people. That's another highlight. The people in the name of the Lord of hosts. Then he distributed among all the people, among the whole multitude of Israel, both women and men, to everyone a loaf of bread, a piece of meat, and a cake of raisins, so that all the people departed, everyone to his house. So David is worshiping. He's making a declaration about the Lord. He's making peace offerings. He was blessing the people, taking care of the people. He wanted to send them home with a goodie bag. Y'all think goodie bags are new today? They're not. David sent out their very first goodie bags. You like that, don't you? Bread, meat.
I do.
Raisin cakes. I think those are great.
Sounds amazing.
I was saying it sounds like a great goodie bag. And it was a good day. People were rejoicing.
I picture so they went and got the ark. Okay, and I picture maybe somebody started a fire, a little fire pit going, and maybe they were just enjoying and they were eating and laughing and singing and dancing.
They were praising the Lord. They were worshiping all together.
Just having a great time together.
Exactly. And then David goes home. Women, how are you when your husbands come home? What type of attitude do you have? What have you been thinking all day? Have you been watching some stupid TV drama show?
Or romance books that don't exist?
Yeah, and give you unrealistic expectations that don't happen. I'm guilty of that one. From a long, long time ago, like extremely long time ago. And it didn't take me long before I realized, I'm like, this is unrealistic expectations. Why am I even reading this junk? So I quit reading it. I think it lasted a whole 6 months.
Yeah, so I was never a reader, so I didn't get into them.
I don't even, you know what, honestly, I don't even know how I did it. I don't know who gave me, I did not go and buy a romance book. Somebody must have handed it to me and I read it. That's all I can think of.
Yeah.
I'm like, and it was historical, so I like the history part of it. You're like, oh, okay, flip. So, but you can still read some of it and you're like, that's so unrealistic. But anyway, so how did she respond to David? David's worshiping the Lord, ladies. Think about it. He's worshiping. He's doing peace offerings. He's trying to consecrate. Then David, verse 20, then David returned to bless his household. He returned to bless the household. Like your husband returning from a job, bringing blessings to the house, returning from church or something, and
it's payday. Maybe he wants to take everybody out to dinner to celebrate.
And Michal, the daughter of Saul, I think we're trying to be given a point that she was more like Saul, a daughter to Saul than a wife to David.
Yep.
Came out to meet David and said, how glorious was the king of Israel today, uncovering himself today in the eyes of the maids of his servants, as one of the base fellows shamelessly uncovers himself. Now, we already talked about it. He didn't actually show off anything. He was not uncovered incorrectly. And what Ray says, Pastor Ray always says this, what's in the well comes up with a bucket. What's in your heart will come out of your mouth. And instead of my favorite words, shut up and pray, Michal spoke and showed her true character in ignorance. David came home to bless his house. Michal chose a curse instead. She met him with sarcasm. She was comparing her husband to her dad. Don't do that, ladies. It never works out. Don't compare your husband to another man. All you're asking for is disappointment.
Thank you for letting us share our tools to become the women God created us to be. If we encouraged you today, visit us at moderndayabigails.com. Remember, you are loved, cherished, and prayed over.